Hello viewers, welcome to another brand new episode of our English classroom. Here I am Pramod and I would like to welcome all of you to my channel. And in this channel you will get several videos on grammatical mode along with some several videos on presentation skill developmental tutorial and also spoken English material. So if you are new to the channel, please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get all the latest updates. Well, first of all, I would like to apologize to all my viewers that because of certain issues I was not regular in uploading videos, but I will try my best at least one video in a week to upload. But let's get back to our today's topic. Well, if you are regular to my channel, you know that I have started a series on tense, on English tense, and it's a very important topic to discuss because if you know the rules and the sentence structure to write the sentence properly, you must need to learn the tense because the verb of the sentence completely depends on the appropriate structures of tense. So today's video is actually on past perfect tense. Well, this tense is a little bit different, or you can say that it's not an usual way of speaking or writing in our daily intercourse, but still this tense is very important in specific situations. Well, actually the past tense indicates the action that takes place in the past time, but still it may create a little bit confusion to the listener or to the readers to understand the chronological order of the actions. Well, suppose you are talking about two actions, both that you have done in the past time, but you need to explain it clearly to the readers or the listeners that which action took place after which one, or which action took place before which action. So past perfect tense provides us this opportunity to remove this confusion from the readers and the listeners. So what is the trick? So it follows several structures. The most common, two common structures of past perfect tense are the uses of conjunction before and after. You can use these two conjunctions to indicate the activities, to indicate the sequence of these activities, and you need to follow strict structure. That means it's not up to you that you can write according to your wish. No, never. It follows a very strict rules and structure. So this is the rules. If you are using the conjunction before, first of all, the verb will be like this: had, auxiliary verb, V3, the past participle form. And this structure goes with past perfect tense verb pattern. So the basic thing is had as an auxiliary verb and V3 form or past participle form as the main verb after the auxiliary had verb. And now when you are using the conjunction before, make sure you are using the past perfect pattern as the first verb of your sentence, or you will use the past perfect verb pattern when you are writing the first clause. So this conjunction divides the entire sentence into two clauses. So this is clause number 1 and this one is clause number 2. So you are using the past perfect tense pattern in clause number 1. And the rest one, or the clause number 2, it will take the verb in V2 pattern indicating past infinite tense. So I hope you can understand it easily that whenever you are using the structure of conjunction before, you need to use past perfect tense for the clause number 1, and you will start with clause number 1. Your sentence will start with clause number 1, and after the conjunction before, you will use clause number 2 where you will write the verb in past indefinite or simple past tense pattern. So this is very simple. For example, I had dinner before my parents arrived. So this sentence uses the pattern of before. I had dinner, so had auxiliary verb and had dinner, that means taking dinner. I had dinner, so this pattern goes with auxiliary verb had and the past participle of have, and it goes had. So had, double had, one had as my auxiliary verb and the other had as my V3 verb. Before my parents, the second subject for the clause number 2, arrived, it is the past form of the verb. Now the rule number 2 is just the opposite. That means you need to swipe up the positions of the clauses. What happened in rule number 1? In rule number 2, the same thing happens, but they exchanged their position. Here, we are using the conjunction after. So the clause 1 takes the verb pattern V2, indicates the past indefinite tense or simple past tense, and the clause number 2, it takes the verb pattern past perfect had plus V3. So what happened in case of before? Just opposite case is happening with the conjunction after. An example goes like this. I'm using the same sentence. My parents arrived after I had my dinner. So this is the previous sentence, but here I am writing this sentence by using the structure of after. So you can practice with the same sentence, but just exchange their position and with the different conjunctions before and after alternatively. So this will improve your practice skill, and within a very short time you can master yourself with both these two patterns. I hope you can understand it. Now the point is, past perfect tense is not only stuck within only these two after and before pattern, because language does not follow any specific rules and regulation unless the speaker use them in correct places. So you can also apply past perfect tense if you want to describe any sentence with such expression or phrases like no sooner, hardly had, scarcely had. So these are the very common practice of English sentence structures. We often use them in our daily conversations also. Like no sooner had, then comes the subject of the clause number 1, and then comes the verb in past participle form. So here is the structure. No sooner, you can replace the term no sooner with the word hardly or scarcely, and followed by the auxiliary verb had, and then comes the subject. So it's a little bit different from the pattern 1 and 2, where the subject comes at the very beginning, but here the subject comes after the auxiliary verb. And in English this is also a common practice of writing sentences, and it's known as inversion. And I will discuss on this topic later in another video in detail. So no sooner had plus subject than V3, and here you need a linking word than, or if you're using hardly or scarcely, the linking word will become when. And finally the second clause, subject plus V2, that means simple past and object. For example, no sooner had the rain stopped than we started our journey. Very common example in English grammar books. No sooner had the rain stopped, that means the rain stopped, and after that we started our journey. But there is a very little differences of time, or the time difference is not so long that could be mentioned with before or after. Here we are not using before and after, and we are using no sooner had. So you can escape before and after if the time differences between two action is not too long. So these are the three structures. Still there are so many structures of past perfect tense, and I will discuss about those structure in my next video. So I hope you could understand this thing more easily. Practice at home. Till then, take care and goodbye, and have a nice day.